Hey everyone, it's Trader Rob. Today is Sunday, January 4th. First of all, I want to wish everyone a happy new year. Hopefully, your trading year has gotten off to a good start, and hopefully, we all have a lot of positive trades to look forward to. With that, I wanted to update everyone with our new weekly bands, our new tradable levels on the NQ, the ES. We'll take a look at how the weekly bands and the tradable levels from last Sunday's video performed throughout the week. And I also wanted to take this opportunity. It's been a busy, it's been a busy couple months here for me. I did launch my Signal Service 2.0, so we moved, or we're actually in the transition now, moving everybody from Discord and YouTube into one platform. The platform is pretty awesome. I now have email and text capability for my signal. So as a signal gets posted, that gets sent out through email and through text message. There's extended live trading now directly in the portal. So not only am I trading on YouTube from the market open till about 10 a.m. Central Time, I now have a pre-market live trading floor and an after hours, or I should say after YouTube, starting around 10 a.m. That goes to about 11 a.m., which is perfect because then we can kind of review any of the setups that we took today. If any members have any questions, and then obviously continue to look for new scalping opportunities in the market. And then lastly, I did launch my volume trading masterclass. So that course is out. There's it's 11 modules in total. There's a few more things that are going to be built into that, but it is fully ready to go. And that is my volume trading strategy pretty much from A to Z. So we cover the required tools that I believe traders need to trade like how I do. And so recommended, required, I guess, it's up to the individual trader. But we go through the entire foundation from step one, finding my key levels, like how I find each and every morning on Discord that I post. That alone is a trading strategy and a very successful trading strategy by itself. How I incorporate the volume profile, how I'm using different volume tools, how you can use candles or volume tools for entry confirmations, how I'm finding my TP1, TP2, and my stop loss, which obviously has been something that has made the signal service so popular and with such a high win rate pretty much since February of this year. Then we go deeply into risk management, preserving capital, putting the entire strategy together, gaining confidence in your system, which I think is an extremely important part. And then obviously several other modules that are in there to kind of give you a complete picture of how I trade and how I look for my setups. So those are both available. So with that being said, and there's more information down below in the description of this video. So with that said, let's get into the intro and then let's get into our weekly bands. As always, nothing that I state on my channel is financial advice. Trading futures or any type of trading is risky business. Any capital that is put out there is at risk for loss. All right, so and first off, I want to apologize. I did come down with a pretty bad cold down here in Florida, and I'm just kind of fighting it. So my voice is it's not the greatest right now, but I can hopefully get through this video. So our video with our new weekly bands and tradable levels came out on the 28th. We're going to start on the ES. ES has been tricky. It's been tricky to find setups. Price action has not been the absolute greatest. So video came out somewhere around here. Our first level, which was the 69.34 that I left you guys with, obviously we missed the reaction there by about a point, maybe a point and a half right here. But you can see how well that volume bounce gave you. It's probably good for about 25 points to the upside. And then we eventually came right back down. We did test this level at the 69.34. Obviously, with this sweep, and this is something that I teach in my masterclass, when you tap into volume so close to a level that you consider to be tradable, it starts to obviously diminish now because it did sweep a good amount of volume to make the move to the upside. So as you can see here, we did go through, we swept what was ever left of volume down here. We tried making a push to the top side for only probably about 5 points. And then this kind of became, support resistance. And then you can see finally, this was the level that the volume finally pushed to the downside. And that's exactly what happens with these volume levels that I find. You'll see that, they just become magnets for the market. We do have a weekly band that's sitting here at the 68.60 to the 68.14. Believe we did tap into this once before. No, we did not. I thought we did. Let me just make sure. I don't think we did. We did not. Okay, so fresh level here. Obviously, market's going to have some resistance here in the market. As I always state in my videos, what you'll typically find is it'll take high impact news, headline news, or multiple retaps into that weekly band for it to break. And if you guys have been watching me trade live on YouTube, you see how hard it is for price action to get through these bands. So that in itself is another trading strategy that you can work off of. Find levels within this weekly band; those become super powerful. So let's see if there is a few additions. So this one, funny thing with the 69.34, is such a powerful level that we're still going to use this one again. And just going to make a slight adjustment down to the 69.33, so just 1 point under. And you can see that it actually aligns fairly well with this 15-minute level right here, break of structure. It's exactly what I'm looking for in my volume setups, so that one's there. We've got another one that is going to be sitting at the 68.77. So the 68.77. So right below where price action is currently sitting at. And again, I give you this disclaimer every single Sunday video. Just make sure you're monitoring the Sunday open. Don't, I know you can't leave a resting limit order right now, but just be very careful with the Sunday open, just to kind of see where that gap comes. If the gap comes in under the 68.77, or if the gap opens up right at the line, which is a big possibility, you don't want to take that setup yet. If I was playing the 68.77, if we gap up, yes, then I'm looking for a bounce and taking this up for a long. If the gap comes down and we start doing price action like this, then the 69.33 and the 68.77 are both in play. Now, if you get a gap and price action opens up here and goes in like this, then you can look for this to go onto the long side, okay? And then it would not be a short setup at that point. So I give you guys that every single Sunday, just so you guys understand. And as well as if you want my email report, there's close to 2,000 people on that report that receives my weekly bands, all of my tradable levels, every single one. They're all in there in a nice report. It's delivered on every single Sunday, and it gives you a really nice roadmap to the week ahead, and that's free. Just go to my website. It's robstrades.com. Right on the homepage, it'll ask you just for your email and your phone number. I'm sorry, your email and your name, and that'll get sent off to you. All right, so now let's get into the NQ. As the NQ's got a little bit more work that we need to do. Let's just see how the levels performed. Let's go to about the 28th. Monday. All right, so our levels came out right here. So this is Friday. This is Sunday's price action, pretty much at the open, which would have been right here. Okay, so gave you guys a level at the 25,834. As you can see, tapped in right here. Got a nice move to the upside for about a good 30 points on the NQ. Same scenario, we finally broke through, created support, became resistance, and then we had a big move back down from this tap on the level. Now the 25,700, I remember this one pretty well. This one on its first tap here did not get respected. It was in this larger volume cluster right here in this weekly band that was sitting at the 25,700 to the 25,627. So this was a case where it tapped into other volume that was down here. I think I actually might have traded this one live on stream. I think it was one of those that I had about 50 or 60 points to the move upside. But as you can see, as you can tell, it was very difficult for it to get through this volume band. And you know what, let me just jump down to the 5-minute and just to see if there was any other reaction. I think it was a very strong move, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this was right at news. I thought this was right at news here on Monday, but I could be wrong. I could be mistaken on that. But as you can see, once it tapped into the volume, you got a very nice reaction to it. And then I believe, yeah, so we also had the 25,600. Finally tapped into that level right there. That one gave you a very nice reaction to the upside. Again, went right back into this volume band. And now, obviously, once you break through the band, now this band is going to act as resistance. So you can see that we could not get through that weekly band there. We finally made our way into our last weekly band that I had updated you guys at the 25,565. And as you guys can see, that was good for maybe 300 points on that move. So I mean, the weekly bands and the tradable levels, guys, I show it to you guys every single week. It's just very, very powerful, very, very powerful. And this is what I teach in my masterclass as well. So let's make now some adjustments here. I'm going to need to make a change to this weekly band, which is now going to be sitting at the 25,804 down to the 25,692. So 25,804 to the 25,692. All right, so 25,804, 692, perfect. This band I can get rid of. This band, I'm sorry. Oh man, I didn't mean to do that. Let's see if I can undo that. Okay, what I wanted to do is just to get rid of these tradable levels. All right, and then this next one is going to be sitting at the 25,605 to the 25,513. Again, 25,605 down to the 25,513. Okay. So that's where that weekly band now is sitting at. And then we've got this guy sitting down here that I can now delete. As you guys can see, we did tap into this weekly band here. So I'm going to delete that guy off of our, and then the only other weekly band, well, we've got a few of them, but the next closest weekly band is going to be at the 25,012 to the 24,900. Yep, perfect. Okay, now as far as, I think I can get rid of this guy as well. As far as tradable levels, so these are scalpable on the NQ. Still have the 25,100 down here. But let's add some new ones, which is going to be, the first one's going to be at the 25,874, 25,874. Okay, so above where price action is currently sitting at. The next tradable level is going to be at the 25,722. 25,722. Sitting in a weekly band, super powerful level. And our last tradable level is going to be at the 25,572. 25,572. Another one in our weekly band. So these are going to be your three reactionary points for this cupping week on the NQ: the 25,572, the 722, and the 874. So that is your roadmap there for the NQ and the ES. If you guys haven't, if you haven't joined me on my live stream, I highly encourage you doing it. I pretty much start right at the market open. We go for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and we define some incredible setups like how we map out here for you guys every single Sunday. So with that, I hope you guys have a great trading week, and hope to see you guys on stream. Take care, everyone.